I am sorry, but where was playoff Jimmy? You needed one more win to get Steph Curry back, and you take 11 shots in 42 minutes? Game before took 9 shots? This is the man who hung 56 on the 1 seed Bucks. Took an 8 seed to the finals 2 years ago. What happened? I mean, if one guy looked like he belonged, it was Jonathan Kuminga, and Steve Kerr can't stand that guy. So guess what? The Warriors know how little time they've got left with Steph, so they've got a plan for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They wanted him for years. And now, to be fair, The Athletic reports there are no early indications that the Warriors will be at the front of the line for a Giannis trade, but there is a realistic way to make it happen. But before that, the first thing the Warriors have to do is make a Jonathan Kuminga decision. After Steph's injury in Game 1, JK dropped 18, 30, 23, and 26 points. Why was he ever shut out of the rotation? I mean, the biggest disrespect for a player is 5 letters. DNPCD. Did not play, coach's decision. You were healthy enough, but coach doesn't believe in you. And in the biggest game of the year to avoid the play-in, Jonathan Kuminga got a DNP. That should not happen to a 22-year-old number 7 overall pick, but it did. Again, in the play-in against Memphis, then 4 times round 1 against the Rockets. So why does Steve Kerr hate this man? He can obviously play. Well, we are finding out why. But round 2 of the NBA playoffs, not nearly as exciting as round 1. I am having fun every single night, though, playing Pick'em on Underdog, where I pick higher or lower for whatever game I'm going to watch. With a little action on the line, I am guaranteed to have more fun. Hey, by the way, a lot of fun if I actually do win some cash. And you can win a lot of cash with their game Streaks when you stack 11 right in a row, up to 1,000x what you put down. So let me give you my best 2 picks for tonight. First up, Mr. Michael Porter Jr., lower on his points. And then the Alex Caruso lower on his 3-pointers. And best of luck if you're telling those picks for OKC against Denver. Check out this map. Underdog is available in all these states. Texas, where I live, California, or Florida with their game champions. If it's your first time signing up, nothing helps out the channel more than using code AMHOOPS. You get up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a special free pick. So before Jimmy Butler got to the team, Kuminga was a problem. See, he bet on himself last offseason in the dumbest way possible. The Warriors' offer was $30 million a year, and JK turned it down because he wanted $35 million. That's why you burn a $30 million a year offer? So you can imagine Kuminga felt a little pressure to get the shots up. Just take this game, for example, against Minnesota, middle of the year. First quarter, check out JK pull up for a terrible mid-range J with 16 left on the shot clock. Is that Warriors basketball? No. Another early shot here, and an airball 3. But watch this. Kuminga dribbles into a double team with the defensive player of the year guarding. I mean, look at Brandon Podziemski wide open, like begging for the ball. And you know that would have just been a quick swing pass right to Steph Curry. Instead, Kuminga bricks it. So even after a win, Steve Kerr ripped him.
When you have Steph Curry on the team, you pass the ball. Because you pass it 2 or 3 times, the defense is scrambling, all hell breaks loose. So it's a choice. We can either do that and win games, or we can shoot, a whole bunch of 15-foot contested shots in the middle of the shot clock and be a lousy NBA team.
Dude, that was after a win. Can you imagine how pissed Kerr must be after losses? I mean, Kerr didn't call Kuminga out by name there, but we all knew who he was talking about. So when they got Jimmy Butler, first, Kerr tried to make it work, but when it didn't, he permanently benched Kuminga. His minutes were slashed so low you'd think he was a rookie. The main problem is his fit, and this is the reason there's almost no chance Kuminga is a Warrior next year. This year, he's shooting a career-low 30% from 3, which makes Kuminga basically unplayable with Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green also on the court who don't shoot well. Here, we'll see Jimmy Butler set this nice brush screen in transition. And again, that pull-up shooting forces Jimmy's man to step up, which then clears up the paint for Jimmy to drive to the rim. But look how Luka on the weak side is going to roam off Kuminga because he doesn't respect the shooting and break up the lob pass. Notice here how deep Gabe Vincent is sitting in help, pretty much ignoring Kuminga in the corner. And Gabe's able to then both take away Green's role and recover back to Kuminga in the corner. But on the flip side, what if Kuminga plays with a spaced out offense to his advantage? Last year, they had a veteran pass first point guard in CP3 willing to make the simple play, create advantages for JK. Look at this play here. Kuminga surrounded by Steph, Clay, CP in the corner. No wonder he had a breakout season. Now, Kerr's got Jimmy and Draymond. So who do you think's going to be the odd man out? He can't play all three of them, so of course JK gets benched. And by the way, Steve Kerr was right. I mean, what did we just see with Kuminga as the primary option, playing Butler and Draymond Green? A low ceiling, lost to Minnesota in 5 games. So what happens next? Well, this is where Giannis comes in. Kuminga could be a key piece to land the Greek Freak. But the 3 options for JK are: he signs with another team and leaves for nothing, returns to the Warriors on a new contract, or sign and trade somewhere else so the Warriors get players in return. The most likely option is 3. And by the way, he should leave. I mean, Kuminga never should have been on this team to begin with. They did the whole 2 timelines thing by accident. The Dubs didn't plan to get 2 top 10 picks in the middle of their dynasty, but what did they do with those picks? Instead of drafting players to fit their system or trading them, they got James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga. Oh, they'll be great when Steph retires, but oops, turns out Wiseman wasn't that good, and Steph is still going strong at age 37. So Kuminga never got to spread his wings like a normal top 10 pick. It is now time for him to move on and show what he can actually do. But what about Giannis? Well, to get him on the Warriors, they would have to move on from either Jimmy Butler or Draymond Green. It's the only way to make the money work. But it seems crazy to move on from Jimmy just a few months after acquiring him. I mean, dude may have disappointed, but he had a serious injury against Houston. Plus, what do you expect without Steph Curry? I mean, yes, the Timberwolves beat them, but it's kind of like beating the Bulls without Michael Jordan. Congratulations, but there's an asterisk there. I mean, with Jimmy and Steph, the Dubs went 23-7 and beat the 2-seed Rockets. We do not know how good they could have been if healthy, but that's the thing. Next year, Steph, Jimmy, and Dre will be 38, 36, and 36 years old. That is old in the NBA. And cores that age don't get better, they get worse. But Giannis is just 30, smack in his prime. They could not pass that up. But like we said, Dubs aren't at the front of the line here. I mean, teams like the Rockets or the Spurs now with the number 2 pick, or even the Nets could outbid them. So how does this work? Well, the best comparison is Anthony Davis to the Lakers in 2019. AD was desperate to play with LeBron James. So even though other teams had a better package, AD landed in LA. Now, Davis had 2 things going for him that Giannis does not. 1, he was on the last year of his contract. Giannis has 2. And AD was willing to make things uncomfortable. The final months in New Orleans were a circus. Is Giannis willing to do that? But we do know, just like AD with LeBron, Giannis is obsessed with Steph. When Curry was the All-Star captain, he picked Giannis first. Then Giannis was the captain next year, he took Steph number 1. When the Dubs won the title in 2022, Giannis said, "Man, Steph is the best player in the world." And Steph responded, "Funny. I was thinking the same thing about him." It's a full-on bromance. Now, what the Dubs will probably do is sign and trade Kuminga somewhere to get a decent role player, maybe size at center, but do not rule out the Giannis plan, because crazier trades have happened in the NBA. But speaking of crazy trades, Dallas deals Luka and then they get Cooper Flagg. How is that possible? Well, a lot of people think it's because the NBA is secretly rigged. And I know that sounds crazy. There's actually a lot more to that conspiracy theory than people think.